There you go. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. All right?
Yes.
You're good. You're good. Ooh, that felt good. Yeah. I hold my breath and pray.
From my work that I do, because I work from home.
Okay.
I'm on the computer all day,
Car
sitting down
car
all
accident?
day. Yeah, I had a car accident. But then I think just from my work habits with sitting at home on the computer all day, it just aggravated.
Yeah.
Correct.
I gotcha.
So that's where I am. Like the most I get my pain is like just right here, shoulder traps.
Has there any imaging been taken of your spine?
They have. I did have a herniated disc. Oh, I don't
In your
remember
lower
the
neck, lower neck?
numbers. Yeah.
They took an MRI or X-ray?
Yeah, they did both.
Okay, okay. And
They
do you have
did
any
both.
symptoms going down your arms?
No.
So, okay, so just the local pain, the lower neck and shoulder,
Mhm.
kind of shoulder blade in here.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. But nothing, no numbness in the hands or anything
No,
tingling?
no.
No burning pain in the arm? Okay. The main pain that you're feeling right now is the joint. So there's two things that you can feel is the nerve or the disc, so the joint in the back here or the actual nerve getting pressured as it comes out the side.
Mhm.
So we want to actually get two things going on. We want to get the spine limber and then actually start working your spine back to being curved.
Curved.
Did they talk to you about curve at all or lordosises? Or?
No, but I am familiar with how
We
the
talked about
curvature
it.
is supposed to be.
Okay, so we'll look at your posture in a second,
Okay.
and that arch in the spine, if the arch is in the spine properly, the discs are gonna be happy, you're not gonna have disc injury, and the spine's gonna be evenly, the weight of the spine is gonna be evenly distributed and not any one vertebrae being overstressed. So when the spine goes straight, the weight like a ladder goes to the last vertebrae and then lower back, or in the neck, same thing. The discs in the lower neck age too quickly. So we do two things, loosen the upper neck up, and then arch the neck back, and we'll show you at the end how to
Okay.
mold that. Go ahead and stand up for me. Let me look at your posture. Part of what's happening, even the kyphosis here, happens because of the fact that when the discs start to rupture out, your body will start to crane forward to open up that hole. And the difficulty with that is that it'll feel better. You'll avoid having symptoms down your arms because of that adaptation. So the worry that this is why many chiropractors might not want to even talk to you about posture change is that as we start changing your posture, Ed, my joints are feeling better, but now my hands are going numb. And so it's kind of a,
You have to balance it.
we have to slowly,
Yeah.
incrementally, it's like acclimating to a mountain. You know, you can't just put somebody up on the Mount Everest, they pass
Right.
out, right? So we have to treat you today, and then the idea would be to not actually take you to neutral. The idea would be to take you like closer to neutral and see how maybe it's not too difficult, and then we take you a little bit farther, and then we kind of figure out where that edge is, and over a period of treatment, we'll be able to know where the limit of what you could handle is before we start hitting something down your arm, because we know there's a disc injury, and you have significant rounding forward as a compensation to avoid hitting the nerve.
Got it.
So when you bend forward, those holes get bigger. So watch the size of that hole when you bend forward.
Okay, I
Right.
get it. Right.
So that's why you have that hump in your upper back. The difficulty is, well, can somebody please fix this? We're going to run into the thing that created got away from, right? Your body created that to avoid the disc hitting the nerve. It rounded it forward, but now you're getting the joint pain and
Yeah.
the muscle tension.
Tension.
All that tension is a
Yes.
result of the avoidance. So there's a reason it happened. And so as we go back into where you're supposed to be, we're going to run into those reasons. And so many chiropractors probably don't even want to talk about this or even go into this because it's like, it's too difficult. Let's just crack you in and out the door.
Right.
Versus doing correction, we're going to have to, it's going to be a lot of me asking you how you feel and how's that.
Right.
And if you start feeling something down in your arms, you got to let me know, and we're going to back off a little bit. And then as we stretch, the main thing that happens is when I want you stretching, I'm going to hopefully make most of it happen where you're not injured. That's the main reason why you need the chiropractic adjustment. Because why can't you just throw me on the stretches, Ed? Why can't you just put me on the
Pull me
stretch
back.
and we can avoid all this table work? Why not just give me the stretch? Because there's a high likelihood that you're just going to bend where you're injured, right? That's where it's loose. You're not going to bend very well where it's stiff because it's tight.
Right.
So we need to go through your spine, unlock it, so that when we're stretching at the end, we're not going to be pinching that lower neck that your body is in such desperation to go away from.
Okay.
All right, head's a little off to the left. You have this shoulder here. You're doing
This shoulder hurts more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also left-handed.
Yeah, I'm saying there's a little bit of a tilt. This is you're more bulked up here on the. I'm gonna exaggerate a little bit, but you're kind of like this a little bit, and the head's over to the left.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Cross this arm under, over. Take a deep breath in. Little sit up. I'm gonna help you. Take a deep breath in. Head back for me. Exhale. Deep breath in for me. Still tighten here. Exhale. See if we can get a little motion. All right, deep breath in. I got you. Head back. Let it go. Chin down a little bit. I got you. Okay. Yeah, we got work to do. It's okay.
Yeah,
We're gonna get those moving.
tight.
If those moved well, I'd be confused, right? That's part of your treatment is, and like I said, why I can't just throw you on the stretches, is that area is going to be stiff, right? And then you're going to bend in your lower neck, and now my hand's numb, Ed, right? And so you're hurting me. So I caution many people, especially just to, everybody wants like the 5 easy home exercises to fix your back. It's like, well, there's a high likelihood that when you do those exercises, you're not going to bend where we want you bending.
Right.
You're just going to be bending excessively where those discs are injured, because the discs got injured due to hypermobility. That area was moving like a paperclip. If you kept bending a paperclip back and forth, it's going to break, right? Or if you had a piece of paper and you kept folding it back and forth, you're going to be able to tear it, right? They have a really cool device, and I would love to, it wouldn't change so much of my care, but it'd be something you could actually show your family. Why did you go to Dr. Ed? They take a video x-ray. So it's called video fluoroscopy or motion x-rays. We'd set you up in front of a camera and we bend you around, you understand? And we have a video footage, but it'd be x-rays, and you can see how your neck bends, right? And, we bend you around, and you'd see that primarily most of the mobility is happening where that disc injury is, right? Then we adjust you and stretch you. We take another motion x-ray. Oh, look at that. My upper neck now is bending. The retention of that is why chiropractic should be in your life. That's so that not all the mobility, because if you burn a candle twice as bright, it'll burn half as long. And if you keep the path, you're 35, if you keep going on this path, by the time somebody's 50, the lower neck is shot, and then you're only as young as the oldest area of your spine. You understand? So if one part of your spine's really old, right, really beat up, then Ed, I'm dying here. And it's like having one cavity in your mouth, but all the other teeth are great, but that one cavity is just killing you. Exhale for me. I got you. Other side for me. Good. Very good. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. A little bit. There we go. All right, left hip's moving. Face up for me. How many years ago? Is it 6 years ago? Was the accident?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about 6.
All right. And did you receive how much care did you receive?
I did go to the chiropractor for about a year.
Okay.
Maybe a year and a half.
Seeing what you've been through, and right side's got pretty large goose eggs over here. Some big knots right here on the right. Oh, just rub this for a second. There you go. There you go. These are the roots of the neck. The muscles attach up here in the occiput, and then the roots attach down there in the shoulders.
Okay.
And so the more forward your head goes, the more load and mechanical stress is on those muscles. And so everybody wants to work on the muscles. I'm the guy, if we get the head back over the shoulders, the muscles won't be tight. So we can chase that carrot of trying to alleviate muscle tension. Does that make sense?
Okay, yes.
Or we fix the posture and there won't be tension. But there are, like I said earlier, there's mechanical reasons, disc reasons and the joints have pain. The joints are loaded with pain fibers, and so when you injure a joint, your head will go forward. Well, Ed, the joint feels better. Well, that's because you're avoiding it. And then the more you avoid a problem, the larger it gets. I always joke, give me an example of a problem that gets better by ignoring it.
So sometimes, like if I'm walking like a long distance, my lower back will start hurting. It kind of feels like it's a weighted belt all around like my waist. And I'm like, I wonder if that even stems from like my neck pain and shoulder pain.
When we're standing up at the end, I'll try to show you.
Okay.
If you put your hand on my back and you let me bend forward, you'd feel all the muscles in my back tense up. And then if you go walk with that posture, the muscles are already doing more work all the time because of your posture, and then you're exercising or moving around, which then is further stressing them. So that can only be alleviated permanently by getting your shoulders back, getting your head back.
Posture,
you got it.
Got it.
Here we go. I got your head. Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah, you did good. You did great. Yeah. So the top two vertebrae are called the atlas and axis, and they're designed to do about 60% of the work of your neck, about 45 degrees left, 45 degrees right. So you really shouldn't be able to wear out your lower neck or even have a disc injury in your lower neck if the upper neck was working
Working right.
correctly.
Okay.
Yeah. Real easy. All right.
Yes.
You did good.
Oh.
And I feel like if you massaged me first, it would adjust better my back, for instance. And that, the answer is probably true. You understand? If I spent 20, 30 minutes massaging your back and then I tried to adjust you, it would probably move better than what it did 5, 10 minutes ago. But I'm examining you at the same time I'm treating you. I wanted to see how supple it was cold, meaning without needing any coercion or me, holding its hand. Yeah, it gives me an idea of, does your middle back move the way it should? And I didn't expect it to, but I wanted to see. I still knew it. I was still examining it. And like a piano, you should be able to run your hand down a piano and all the keys move down easily, right? Well, let's say I had one key on the piano and I had to put my whole body weight on the key. It moved, Ed. Aren't you happy? No, I'm not happy because I had to put 100 pounds of force on it, you understand, to get the key to move. The key should move effortlessly. It's the same thing with the vertebrae in your spine. Just because they moved doesn't mean I'm happy.
Got it.
They should be moving like butter. If the vertebrae that's supposed to initiate the mobility isn't working, so you'll see Brenda and I working constantly in the middle back area because the diaphragmatic area, the T12, L1, where the diaphragm attaches, is a common place where we get stiff. People hold their breath when they get injured. They hold their breath when they lift things. This is why you're supposed to exhale when you lift, or even in martial arts, they have the key up of, you're trying to exhale.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, you don't want to be, you shouldn't go, you understand, it should be, you want to be exhaling. Boxers do the same thing when they're punching, they're exhaling mainly so they don't destroy their bodies. If you don't, you're going to hernias and disc herniations. And
I never even thought about it that way.
yeah, you want to be exhaling when you're, if you have to lift something up, you take a deep breath in, and then as you're lifting, and I tell my golfing patients, if you ever want to mess up a golfer, just ask them right before they take a swing on a critical shot, you say, do you inhale when you swing or exhale? Anyway, then all the golfers get messed up, I don't know. I hold my breath and pray. You're doing great.
Okay.
So this is the curve. Should just feel pressure where I'm pushing in. But if you do start feeling anything down the arms, like tingling or anything down the arms, please let me know.
Okay.
You shouldn't, because where I'm asking your neck to bend is not where it's injured. But what'll happen is the lower neck is like that eager student in the room that wants to answer all the questions, and I'm trying to look at the students in the back row that are falling asleep, and can they answer the questions? I know you know the answer.
Right.
I know C5. I know you know how to bend. I want to give the atlas and the axis the opportunity to answer the questions and to move. Pick me, pick me. These are the roots down here.
Yes,
Shoulders.
that feels so good.
We'll clean
my
all-
gosh.
Yeah, we'll get them all cleaned up for you. And then try to reduce their burden. That's the. I hope. It's like, give a man a fish, he's hungry, or he'll be hungry again. But feed him, teach a man how to fish. That makes sense.
Yep.
That's my goal. And my mission in life is to. Here's a fishing pole. Put the shrimp on the bait.
Right.
You're gonna catch your. Aren't you gonna catch my own? No, I'm not gonna. I'll catch it for a couple for you, but you're gonna learn how to do this.
Yep.
I want to teach you how to change your own posture. It's here's a toothbrush. Start brushing your own teeth.
It's like a constant knot. They're always it never goes
Correct.
away.
That's
never
it's
goes
postural.
away.
Yeah, it's postural. You're doing great. Yeah.
Yep, I like it here.
I always think of the Wizard of Oz, like when they're in the body shop and they're getting scrub.
Yeah.
It's Ed's body shop. Make a t-shirt out of that, baby. Draw some Wizard of Oz characters and me. It's body shape.
Like sometimes I'll have like my dad just rub my shoulders just like this, just to get a little
Relief. Yeah. Just a comb with a smooth edge, just a way to help speed up blood flow.
Okay.
The muscles, when they're working too hard, will build up a lot of lactic acid, and that lactic acid will obviously cause pain. It's an acid, it irritates nerves, and so ultimately we want to turn the engine off so it's not creating so much exhaust. Right, the more the muscle's working, the more acid it produces, and we can keep chasing that carrot forever.
Okay.
Right, of trying to rinse out the lactic acid, or we
Right.
can try to put the muscle on vacation so it's not producing so much in the first place, which is, but in order to make the stretching possible, we need to clean the spine, I call it, meaning get all the soreness out and unlock the parts that are frozen.
Makes sense.
Okay. Even with your head straight forward, your main part of your neck that creases is right there. You
can see it actually.
like gently let your head go back. Look up. The first place that folds is right there in the lower neck.
Wow.
And that's where underneath. And there's a little bit of fold actually at the top, but I want to make this the main bending right there, not and take away some of the excessive bending
down below.
So you actually have some ability. It's you're young enough that you haven't lost. Give it another, if you kept going down this path, this would up here at the top would lock down, and then this would be the main, and then the compensation would just grow. The body's rounding forward, just avoidance, I call it. Right there. Perfect. Yeah, right there's a big mark right there.
Well, that's the size you said you felt like the big goose eggs.
Yeah, right there. They're coming out right there. It's like if I put a marble on your back, it would roll off to your right.
Okay.
It correlates with that left shoulder being higher. So this, there's an injury usually here on the left that makes you want to tilt to the right.
Okay.
Right, and then that causes your shoulders height to be on level, your head to tilt. But there can be something usually right in here that is creating a domino effect where your body then is, compensating, and then you'll see these misalignments in other places, but the source is usually right. Hello.
Yeah, I feel that.
Right in there. This side's lower. It's not as big on the right, but right here on the left is. Okay.
Do you think it'll have anything to do with like the position of my sleeping? Because I'm a side sleeper.
Well, we want to get you on your back, and I don't blame you for wanting to be on your side. The reason why we go to our side is because our back is inflamed, our back isn't comfortable to lay on, and the side allows you to pull your knees up into fetal position and tuck your chin down, which...
That's exactly how I sleep. Knees up and chin down.
Right, it's okay. I don't blame you, but this is why I was confused earlier when I said, do you have anything going down your arms? And you said no. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now I know why. Because you've been running away, right? And you can do that till 40, 45.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to run away forever.
Okay.
So we can wait till you can't run away anymore, and then everybody else will wake up and go, oh, there's a problem. No, there was a problem when she was 35. She was just she was rounding forward.
Right.
And now she can't round forward anymore because even the rounding forward has further injured the discs, which makes the need for you to round forward to go even farther. Does that make sense? And that's why you see these elderly people all crane forward. They didn't get there because they thought it looked cool. They slowly, incrementally over time, millimeter by millimeter, rounded forward. So someone's got to be the bad guy in trying to stop this positive feedback loop. This is all the tension that has to be. This is what we ran into when I gave you the hug adjustment earlier. This all has to be untangled right here. Right. I know. Taking you to the edge and then backing off and figuring out what you can handle. Like a good physical trainer at a gym should be one that, isn't your friend.
Right.
but also isn't your enemy, right? It pushes you without overwhelming you,
Yeah.
right? And that's kind of where chiropractic should be in people's lives. I never liked my orthodontist. I did when he fixed my teeth, and thank you very much, but it's like it's a long-term outlook here. That's when we joking with the paperwork earlier. What's your health philosophy and maximum correction or temporary relief? Right. Those help me understand you. You understand?
Right.
All the other questions help me understand the physical aspects, but I want to know the mental aspect of a patient. You understand?
Right.
What's your mindset? What's your goals here?
Mm-hmm.
If temporary relief, then I just bend you farther forward. Does that make sense?
Right.
We just, or take some muscle relaxants and painkillers and bend you forward. But
Oh yeah, I don't want to do that.
I know most people that see me, they want to, we want to aim towards correction, which is how do I take care of my own spine? How do I put myself in the best position possible to make it and live as long as possible? What we call autonomy.
Mm-hmm.
Auto means self, nomi means law. So autonomy means self-ruling, self-governing. Your body's supposed to be autonomous. Now injuries and toxins and depression, anxiety, and things from the outside usually, or things from the inside that can't get out, cause us to need care. But homeostasis means that your body should be able to self-regulate. You shouldn't need all this. Car accidents throw a wrench into this. All these things that
Mm-hmm.
mess up the autonomy. Wow, it's a little crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, yeah, okay, all right. Doing great, you're doing great. The areas directly adjacent or right next door to the injured areas are the most responsible, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the one vertebrae is injured, the one next door is completely uninjured. That's the problem.
It's crazy.
Right? Why are you so not injured is the question. You see, most doctors look at the injured vertebrae and wonder why they're injured. I look at all the other vertebrae that are not injured and go, why are they not injured?
Mm-hmm.
And if you can answer that question, you'll start to understand why the vertebrae that are injured, right? But they don't look at that. They keep asking the question why they're injured, and then they call it a disease and label different reasons that are incorrect. It's degeneration. It's like, no, it's regenerating. It's getting larger due to stress. I remember being like 8 years old with my dad at a chiropractor's office, and my dad begging the chiropractor to adjust him a certain way, and the chiropractor saying something like, that's not where you're subluxated or something. And I remember leaving that office and my dad looking at me going, Ed, I'm going to teach you how to do this. He was so frustrated that, like, every chef wants to cook their steak the way they want to cook it.
Do it, yeah.
And so they don't want to be told how to cook their steak. So the part of the joint that we never access actually starts to form some crystals on it, and that's what you're feeling also a little bit in these joints.
Okay.
There's plaque and adhesions.
Yeah, I can feel it when you're going over it.
I'm trying to slide the joints together, but the part of the joint that you mainly access stays clean. The part that you never bend in, all this grit starts to form.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a tub, like where you're standing stays clean, but at the edges is where all the grime builds up,
Right.
kind of idea. It's like, so as we bend you back, as I ask the joints to overlap, we're going to start going into the territory of the joint that's never been really accessed.
Okay.
And that's where, again, it's usually a handful of visits to break loose the spine, get all that moving in there, so that the stretching is actually effective. See, if your back is so stiff, then not only are you not going to bend where I want you bending, but you're actually not going to bend very much at all. Right? Your back is still stiff. Something happened right here. What was your teenage years? What did you physical activity, anything like that?
No. No sports, really.
No rowing or something, or no?
No. I was a dancerette
Okay. Like
for like 2 years in high school, so that's a lot of.
slip and falls, and he slip and fall?
No,
that's
no,
falling.
never fell. No,
Older brothers?
no, it's me and my sister.
Okay.
Trying to think.
Bunk beds? You're on the top bunk?
No, none of that.
Rolling out of bed?
Rolling out.
Uh-huh.
No,
okay,
none
no
of
bunk
that.
beds. Okay.
So
Well-
I'm not sure. I don't.
There's usually something that precedes it. There's about 10, 15 years before that disc injury was seen. That's when the injury would have been. The research says it takes about 10 to 15 years to get a disc to even bulge or herniate. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, not that it changes much, but I'm saying something had to have
Yeah,
happened.
something
A
happened.
trauma, not just life, not just bad posture won't do it. You understand? It had to have been an injury, whiplash. You understand?
Mhm.
10 to 15 years before the disc was injured. So whenever that was discovered, you had to look 10, 15 years prior to that. So whatever,
Yeah, I'll have to think about it.
probably back in your teenage years.
Yeah.
That's when the trauma that happened that set it up, and that's when the care should have been administered. And that's why I tell people that bring their kids in, because what we can check for is, do all the parts of the back move. What I check on a teenager is, if all the parts of the back move, then we put them on the stretches, and their spine's going to be aging evenly. And that's
Right.
all you can really ask for. You can't stop aging, but you can stop accelerated aging. Right? Areas that are aging at 2, 3, 4, 5 times the rate they're supposed to, and that's what then is being labeled as disease. Okay. You're doing great.
Now you got me thinking. Like, what did I do? What did I say?
It's okay. Fall off a trampoline, fall off a horse, skating rink.
Never fell. I've never.
Did you have car accidents when you were younger?
I did have one in high school. Like I was a junior.
Describe the accident.
The car ran me off the road, and then I had to go like in a ditch, and it was like a bumpy ditch.
With a sudden stop?
Oh yeah.
So you're going how fast do you think?
At least between 35 to 40.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it. You're saying because a sudden stop from the front is going to make your neck go forward. You understand? Did your airbag go off?
No, it didn't.
Okay. All right, but your head didn't hit the steering wheel or anything?
No, it didn't.
But enough force. See the shoulder strap and the seatbelt actually protects your chest, right? But there's no seatbelt that protects our neck.
Right.
You right? So all the force went in your neck, right?
That's probably what
Right?
happened.
And so then the disc got injured, the joint got injured, and then the posture started to compensate, and then that finally summated 10, 15 years later. That's when the care should have been administered to avoid the posture change. I would say that we call that the compensatory injury. So you have the injury of the car accident, and then you have the compensatory injury, which is the posture change that the injury created. This is Dr. Ed's guessing.
Okay.
Something 80% of the injury is the avoidance. I used to say 50%, but I've changed my numbers. A much larger percentage of the injury is the compensatory injury. Like if you break your right ankle, you have the injury of the broken right ankle. Now you avoid the right ankle and you injure the left ankle because the left ankle is doing extra because you're in avoidance. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now that left ankle gets more injured than the original break of the right ankle because of the posture change. Right, so the avoidance creates a bigger problem. There it is. You got it like buried here on the rib. Right there. Right there. That's the epicenter of where the bomb went off. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't think Ed was going to find it. See the difference? I mean, this side's all smooth over here.
Yeah, that's smooth. Oh, yeah, she's there.
Yeah. Something happened, right? Okay. got some.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's that. These are all inflammation in here, up here on the right. You know, all this is actually the lighting's here, not too great, but that's all purple up here. We want to get rid of all that. This is all why your body likes to go on your side and rounding forward to get away from you know that. So,
Wow.
boyfriend, married? What are you?
No, I'm single.
Okay, single. Okay, the factory where they make the chiropractors on the East Coast. That's where I met my wife over in Port Orange, Florida. Is where
Really?
where the factory is. These are your options. You can either
Okay.
move to Sarasota and become, I'm teasing, become a chiropractic patient, or you can go to the factory over there
The factory.
where they're pumping out the new chiropractors and
Listen, I would love to meet
I'm
someone.
just teasing. What's the best treatment for me? Go to the factory. My wife has that privilege at 11:30 p.m. Ed, would you adjust my neck? You know, so
Right.
that's.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Come on. Good. Pushing on piano keys.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got it.
Yeah. One of the keys finally went back down. I want everything moving evenly. There you go. There's a foam roller we're going to show you at the end. You know, this is where you can kind of emulate this. You take a foam roller.
Okay.
It's a little easier than this. It'll be, you kind of work your way from the top and you work it down to the bra, middle back area, and we're arching back. And it allows you to move around on it. I'm going to show you the neck roll. So it emulates. Remember when you were on your back, I was holding your neck curved.
Yes.
The piece of foam is shaped like my hand, and it holds you in that curved position.
Okay.
So that will be your neck stretch, and then the back stretch will be with just a 6-inch diameter roller.
Okay.
I don't sell them, but they're just
All right,
foam.
we'll get one.
Yeah, Amazon or Target,
Yeah.
Walmart. But I'll show you how to use it, and that's the way to. What'll happen is, Ed, the day I was adjusted, and up to a week after I was adjusted, it wasn't so difficult. And then I noticed it was getting harder and harder because of my sitting. Does that make sense? So as your back gets stiffer, and this, does necessitate some level of care. But the more you stretch, the more your body gets to the right position, the less you'll need care.
Okay.
But yes, to some degree, it's like I got to keep cleaning the dishes in my sink. I got to keep going to my dental hygienist. I got to keep my hair. Why cut my hair? It's just going to grow out again. It's like, yes, you're right. Welcome to Earth. You do need to have follow-up care to some degree. If you buy a car, you still have to get the oil changed every once in a while. It's like, it's not like you're exempt from, but it shouldn't have to get your oil changed every week. It's way too frequently here. So we're trying to set people up with tools. This is what sitting stiffens. When I had you on your side, I was checking to see how willing or unwilling this joint was to functioning, and yeah, I know. That's why I didn't want to bend. You understand? The joint didn't want to bend because of all this tension in here. I think this one was worse. Yeah, this joint was really tight. All right, okay. I found the edge. Okay, all right, breathe. I'll do it a different way. You okay? Too much?
Just
Too much?
a little bit.
A little bit too much, okay, all right. The lower setting, try lower setting. Well, the idea is to take it at your tolerance, wherever you can handle.
Okay.
There can't be this much soreness in here. This is going to lead to your lower back being overstressed.
Okay.
It's better, you okay?
Yep, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere. Start That's the top of the joint right there. When you're walking, these joints aren't pivoting the way they're supposed to.
Right.
Right, so this is locked, and then when all your walking happens, not only that, but when you're bent forward, these muscles get tighter. And so all this, the lower back's just saying, I've had enough.
Right.
I got you. Yeah, real good. Ooh, that felt good. Yeah. You jam these pinkies. Look what. Okay, all right. Okay.
My mom would love to do that part. She loves our
Mm.
feet
Mm.
and our toes.
Mm. Go ahead and tilt your head right. Tilt right for me. So you're just gonna.
okay.
Yes. So,
Sorry. I'm like-
tilt.
okay.
It's okay. Keep the head straight though.
There we
go. Okay.
Keep it straight. Okay. Go ahead and tilt right. Go ahead and tilt right for me. Tilt right. Okay. Good. Okay. Go ahead and tilt left. Okay. Now. There. Okay. Go ahead and tilt left. There we go.
No, I
Ooh,
felt
yeah. Open it up.
Never had that before.
Put your hand on your hip for me.
Okay.
There we go.
It's like a learning curve. once,
Yeah.
right, Yeah.
All right, you're gonna press back with your elbow into my elbow. Press
Okay.
back. There we go. It's okay. Now push a little bit. Push back. It's okay. Just checking. Press back. Here a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I heard it a little bit.
All right. Let me check your hands and we'll check a whole bunch of stuff. The fingers you just pull. You don't need to be twisting or
Okay.
bending them. Just straight traction. You really
Okay.
shouldn't. But sometimes when we have stress in our joints, we'll feel the need to release that stress by popping the joints.
I
but-
don't. I don't
Good.
do that at all.
Ooh.
That's that lefty.
Does this wrist do that same thing? Does that do it over here?
Because I'm a.
What'd you do to that wrist? See, this is normal. This is normal. That feels normal.
Okay.
There's something clunking around on that left side.
It's not because that's my dominant.
Uh-huh. I think it's just...
Oh, yeah, I feel that.
No.
I
Something...
feel that.
That's not right. I felt a lot of wrists. That feels a little weird in there. Let me just comb that and see if I can release whatever's bound up in there.
Okay.
There's something. Maybe, like I said, maybe you can see, like I said, this is your dominant side, but
Ooh.
take your watch off for me. Take the watch off for me. I don't know if that exists over here. Yeah, little tiny guy there. But this is, and that's a nugget. The idea would be to release this. You can work
Okay.
this. You can work this
Okay.
out of here. You shouldn't. I think this is the muscle's so tight that the cables are so tight here that I'm moving your wrist joint. All the cables are rubbing over the bones, but I don't know if it would cause any major problems other than just kind of more of an annoyance. But maybe tendonitis eventually. But there's something definitely right here that needs to be. All right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm good.
All right.
That's crazy.
There's no normal tenderness. Whenever, especially if it has kind of a grainy, gristly feel to it.
Yeah, I feel
there's-
that right there. Yeah.
Something's been torn
Oh.
and then it healed. Like the original tissue looked like this.
Mhm.
Right? And then it tore and it healed like like that. Right? That's what you're feeling. Like if we took it off, we'd see something like that underneath there. And you're like,
It's
that's
crazy.
That's not supposed to look like that. It's supposed to look like organized. So something that you feel.
It's in there because I can definitely feel it. Just feels like a huge knot, and it's like really tender.
Correct. Yeah. The knot traps lactic acid, so the tissue, because it's all bound up, it doesn't get good circulation. So the tissue perfusion is low, which accumulates lactic acid, which then causes pain. And what'll happen is if you leave acid on a bone for a long period of time, the bone will grow. So acid is negatively charged, and so all this acidity will attract calcium from your blood, and that's what makes bones grow. And that's what then the carpal tunnel is, this little tunnel that all the median nerve goes through. And so if that bones grow, then it pinches the nerve, and so you don't want to leave. I think of it like love bugs on your paint in your car.
Right, you gotta get them off.
You don't want to leave that on your car because it'll eat away at your paint. You don't want to leave acidity on a bone for long periods of time because it will eat away at the paint, eat away at the bone kind of idea, and make it grow. And that's the point of what I call cleaning, meaning you're just washing the tissue. It's supposed to be, like I said earlier, homeostasis. The tissue should be rinsing itself all the time. It shouldn't need to be rubbed. It shouldn't need to but when it gets tangled, somebody's got to go through and try to, like hair, untangle it again so it can, nothing shouldn't get stuck. Something. You'll wake up tomorrow and go, oh my gosh, my back was sore, but oh my gosh, that knot right there was sore.
Right.
Oh, that's good enough for me. Here, a little bit. You moved a little bit.
I like how it feels.
Got it.
Unlocking your spine and then molding. It's not an active exercise. It's not something active. This is just passively stretching. Letting it be okay that your chin tries to come up, letting it be okay that your neck is curved.
Okay.
And then holding this for about 20 minutes. It takes 20 minutes to stretch the counter ligaments. So if you can imagine the whole spine wrapped in rubber bands, and the ones on the back have been stretched out because of the predominance of being forward.
Right.
And then the fabric on the front, almost like my shirt, it gets all rolled up and tight. And so even if I, compress the back, that tight ligament on the front pulls you back forward.
Yeah.
So we need to stretch the fabric on the front. We call that the anterior longitudinal ligament. It's a long ligament that runs from the front part of your foramen magnum down to your pubic bone. There we go. Easy, easy. Arms up for me. There we go. Bring your arms back. There we go. Put them. There we go. We gotta start aiming you backwards.
Okay.
So the idea is time is more important than depth. So I don't mind putting books behind your head. You understand? And you might need to get some blocks or books. The idea is that you put the roller on your back, and then every minute, just try to relax. Try to see if you can relax your arms. Breathe. Or put them to the side. We got to be able to hang out here.
Yeah.
You got to start stretching your shoulders back.
Okay.
If it's too difficult, you put your hands on your belly. You understand? If you
No,
can't,
this is good. The first one.
Yep. But I'm saying you guys, that's the one I want you working on.
Oh.
My point is that where it's the most difficult is where you need it the most.
Okay.
Right? Now, it's okay. We don't need to do it the first visit, but...
Okay. Now, with this, I feel it
Yes, ma'am.
right here.
Yes, it's all got to stretch open.
Okay.
And we're going to run into the monsters.
Okay.
So the idea would be to actually now, after about a minute, you push with your feet and roll upwards. So you're going to roll towards me. So kind of move towards me upwards. There you go. And then lay your head back again. And stay there. There you go. Get the idea? And you move your way down the spine.
Oh, yeah. I like this.
When your body's upright, it should be soft.
Oh, yeah, it is
Yeah.
soft. Wow.
Do you understand?
Yeah. My back doesn't feel like this
Do you
at
understand?
all.
So it should be soft back here. When you
Right.
bend forward, that's where the tension is.
Tension
Do you
is
understand?
right there.
Now if I go walk with this posture, do you see how it's going to even more tension?
Yeah.
Because the tension's there because of the posture. Now, we got to get you back upright. So when you're walking, you want to be walking as upright as you can be. I mean, try to focus on, it's just easy to get...
Down like that, yeah.
It's easy to get stuck in walking forward, right? And not walking eyes on the horizon, upright. Phones and everything.
Yeah.
It's just easy to get stuck around forward. And then if you do that for a long period of time with all that tension in your back from being forward. So we try to, so in order to get you to neutral, we have to start bringing you back, and then your body will want to be in neutral. And for now, we're just going to take you to a little bit closer to neutral, and then eventually we'll start bending you back more, we'll
Okay.
talk. How you feeling? You okay?
I'm good.
Beautiful. Thanks
I'm
for dropping in. All right,
good.
very
Thank
good. All right, thank you.
you.